Hi everyone, and welcome back to channel IRS. We're starting week number 9 and this is day 34. And this week I decided to speak about limits because every racing driver has his limits. And you know what do the best racing drivers? They overstep that limits, they go over it. Every day, every single moment, every second, they develop themselves and they go over their limits. So why and how we have to go over our limits? Well, if you want to be faster than the other drivers, then you have to go over your limits. And how? Do it gradually. Don't go crazy straight away. You shouldn't go crazy in racing at all. You have to be calm, concentrated, and all the time calculating your skills, your abilities. So as gradually you do that, better you will be. So remember, when you're learning something, no rush. Do it very gradually. Well, then you have a question: if I'm gonna do everything too slow, how I'm gonna become quick racing driver? Well, believe me guys, on the circuit you will be quick because we speak about racing driving, so you're not gonna drive slow. I'm speaking about learning to be fast racing driver. It shouldn't be in one day. You're not gonna learn it in one day. It's just impossible, you know. You're not gonna, you came first time to the racing circuit, you first time see the go-kart, you took a seat and you drive there super quick, you know. Even Ayrton Senna, his first race he won because he was lightest driver. And remember how many years it took him to become a Formula 1 driver, and how many years it took him in F1 when he's been a Formula 1 driver, how many years it took him to become the best racing driver and the world champion. So guys, no rush when you're learning something, and more concentrated you are, you will remember it better, you will learn it quicker. So you have to overstep your limits, but never go too crazy. Day 33. Just behind me, the start finish straight, and just over there at the beginning of this straight, corner number 8. This is our last corner, and this is exactly where we have to speak about limits, because when you exit last corner, when you approach last corner, you have to over push your limits. You have to go for a new lap with a new limits. You have overstep your limits. You have every time push yourself forward and forward. You have every time to be quicker and quicker, lap after lap. So this is why I choose corner number 8 for limits. Now, let's remember racing line around corner number 8. As you remember, corner number 6, 7 and 8, this is as a one complex corner because they are very dependent on each other. You build racing line for each corner depends on the previous corner. So in the last week we spoke about corner number 6 and 7. If you don't remember it, go onto my channel and click video record 90 SP2 consistency. And now corner number 8. So when we exit corner number 7, we are on the left hand side and we are on a short straight. After this short straight, you do nice, quick, at the same time smooth braking on a straight line, then turning to the right and hit latest apex in this corner, because you need to make your exit as straight as possible, as smooth as possible. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be completely straight line crossing track all the way to the start finish. No. It's still gonna be bended a little bit, but you have to make that bend as smooth as possible, and your exit from apex all the way to exit point has to be as smooth as possible and as straight as possible. So after late apex, you have an exit point which is somewhere in the middle of these outside curbs, maybe even a bit later. It's later. So it's somewhere at the end of these outside curbs. And as soon as you hit the exit point, your steering wheel is straight and you full throttle through all these start-finish straight line. So corner number 8 is very important to push your limits further, because you need a lot of speed on this straight, because this is the longest straight on the circuit. So you have to overpush yourself, to overpush your limits in corner number 8, and every time your speed has to be quicker and quicker and quicker on this longest straight. So guys, we spoke about all corners, and we still have week number 10, 11, 12 and 13. So we have 4 weeks to go. And in these 4 weeks, we have to get ourselves in 45. Day 32, and it's time to develop our limits. It's time to go over it. And this is what I found for today: physical exercises. So let's see what we have here. We have surfer, we have double sit-up bench, horseback rider, spacewalker, step box, multi-gym, skier, step box body twister, rower, trial pole. We have double chest press, pull down exercise combinations, cycle bike, double leg press, and you even can scan the QR code using your smartphone to access videos on how to use each item from our fitness legacy range. And we have one very important sign which says this equipment is intended for use by adults and children above 14 years of age. So as I am above 14 years old, I am 15, so this place suits to me to develop my limits. Let's try some of these sport equipments. And for warm-up exercises, I choose this equipment, which is called, how is it called? Let's see, Space Walker. Before we trying any new sports equipment, we have to read instructions, and you can find it on each equipment. So this one says, position both feet in the tread plates, firmly hold with both hands the support bar, push legs back and forth alternatively, alternatively to a comfortable distance. Swing in a controlled manner. Increase duration as fitness improves. So beginners can do 5 minutes, intermediate 7 minutes, advanced 10 minutes. Right, now we're going to use another equipment for warm-up as well, and this one called Skier. Let's test it, let's try it. Okay, so we have to place our feet here, our hands on these bars, and now it's like a running. It's nice weather today, isn't it? I'm a bit too late for physical exercises, but that's fine. Let's run for another 20 minutes. After that, I'll be ready for something heavier than this one. That's enough. So I finished my what is that? Skier, my running, and now let's move to row. So we're gonna do some rowing. Let's go. Let's try it. Let's try it a little bit. Here we go. Right. So. Sit like this, legs like this. Now we hold these bars and we're rowing, 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 rowing. We're rowing, 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 rowing. You know what? I thought it was going to be much easier, but this is exactly what we need to push over our limit. You know, I found that beginners should do 2 minutes, intermediate 5 minutes, and professionals like me 8 minutes. So I'll see you in 8 minutes, guys. Here you go, guys. I'm back after my 8 minutes. I even done more than that. Looks like I crossed the whole Thames River somewhere in central London. Let's move to something even more difficult. Maybe this one. What is that? Chest press, and also you can do pull down exercises. Sounds interesting. Let's try it. Right, so how we do this one? I think I need to put legs up like this, and now I pull myself up and down, up and down.
I can feel my 82 kilos, and it's not so easy to work with this weight. Let's do a few more. Okay, that's enough for this one. Let's try the other side. Here we have chest press. So again, legs up and let's go. A foot. This one's gonna be easier than that one, but it's even more heavier. Eight, 9, and 10. I think 10 is good enough.
So here it is, guys. This is it with physical exercises for today. If you have the workout place like this one near your house, it's definitely worth to use it and to develop your physical limits. And now we move into the next day, which is practice session. It's day 31. We at Daytona Sandown Park. Track conditions is unpredictable. I can't see from this point where it's dry. Maybe it's 70% wet, maybe it's 50% wet. Well, let's go out and let's find out what we can do in these weather conditions. Let's go. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 8. So this is day 28, and this is the end of week number 9. This week we spoke about limits, and we had a practice session, and the circuit conditions was 80% wet and 20% dry, and we did 55 seconds point something and I think 55 seconds it's quite good lap time in these conditions. So, and wet, you know what, I like wet. Like on a wet, you are seriously push yourself over the limits, you know. You are all the time like on the edge of your limits, you know, like you, first of all, on a wet, especially the conditions which I had on on my last practice session, the racing line, it's not dry, it's not wet. You have to combine both of them, and you have to find the best one. So yeah, so I like this weather conditions. I think it helps to understand, it helps you understand maybe not a lot about racing driving, because when you're on a dry, it's everything completely different, but it helps you to understand your physical limits, your mental limits, you know, because every time you have to think, and every lap you have to adapt to a new track conditions. So yeah, this week number 9 was really progressive, and I really like it. Yes, we still hadn't even 45 seconds, even 45.9 or something like this. I know we are not even close to Fernando Alonso, but guys, do you know why exist best drivers? Because they never give up. They all the time go over their limits. See ya.